Hello everyone. So in the last class we have discussed about the periodic table. So we have done with the explanation part, and today we are going to discuss some questions on this periodic table. You can expect at least 9 to 11 marks from this chapter periodic table, and it is very easy to answer those questions. Okay, in the exam point of view I'm talking about. And the main or the very important question, so which will definitely come from this chapter, is give reason question. So definitely you will see at least 2 or 3 give reason questions from this periodic table. So what type of give reason questions may appear from this periodic table? So here generally the give reason question, so this reasoning question will be asked on the periodic properties only. And what are those periodic properties? Those periodic properties are nothing but electron affinity, ionization potential, electronegativity, and metallic character. So now if you see these properties, electron affinity or ionization potential or electronegativity, across a period, what happens? These properties will increase across a period in the periodic table. So when these 3 properties increase, so this metallic character, it is just opposite to this electronegativity. So what happens to the metallic character? The metallic character will decrease. Okay, so in all these 3 cases, electron affinity, ionization potential, and electronegativity, so they all will increase with the increase in nuclear pull on the valence electrons. But this metallic character is tendency to lose electrons, so further the nuclear pull should be decreasing. So that's why, so when these 3 increase across a period, so this will decrease, the metallic character will decrease across a period. Okay, and if you take these down the group, electron affinity, ionization potential, electronegativity, so these will decrease down a group, and the metallic character will be opposite to them. So metallic character of the element will be increasing down the group. And what is the reason for this? So for all these reasons, we answer these questions depending on only one factor. So what is that factor? The factor on which these properties depend on is the nuclear pull on the valence electrons. So as you know, as you move from left to right, the atomic size will be decreasing. So when the atomic size decreases across a period, the nuclear pull on the valence electron increases. So because of the increase in this nuclear pull, these values, electron affinity, ionization potential, electronegativity, they will also increase. So for this, what is the reason? The nuclear pull, I'm writing the reason here. Okay, so the reason for this, the nuclear pull on the valence electrons increases due to decrease in atomic size or atomic radius, you can write. And coming to this, down the group. So down the group, what happens? The atomic size will be increasing because the number of shells will be increasing. So atomic size or atomic radius will be increasing. So then what happens? The nuclear pull on the valence electrons as you move down from top to bottom, so the nuclear pull will be decreasing, so the attraction on the electrons will be decreasing. So that's why these electron affinity, ionization potential and electronegativity, they will decrease down a group, whereas the metallic character will increase, because metallic character is tendency to lose the electron. So the reason for this, you can write. So here also you will write the same factor, that is nuclear pull on the valence electrons decreases as the atomic size increases down the group. Okay, so it's very easy to answer. So for all these questions you will write only the same reason, almost the same reason. Okay, it depends upon the nuclear pull on the valence electrons. Okay, let's see another type of question. Like, name the following. So in this you will get like this, name the following: the element with highest electron negativity. So this is very important question. So the element with highest electron negativity will be fluorine. Okay, so generally halogens will be having the higher electronegativity in that particular period, and the element with highest electron affinity value, so here it will be chlorine. Okay, so in case of electron affinity, chlorine will be having the highest value, means the energy which is released when it accepts electron into its valence shell, so that will be maximum in case of chlorine atom. But in case of electronegativity, so it is the tendency to attract the electrons. So fluorine can attract the electrons very strongly compared to chlorine, but the energy released when the atom accepts the electron, then it will be maximum in case of chlorine. So this you have to remember. And the element with highest ionization potential. So now the high ionization potential means it is the energy required to remove the electron from the valence shell. So generally in which case it will be highest? In case of noble gases, and that will be highest or maximum for this element helium, because these helium and other noble gases will have stable electronic configuration, so it is not easy to remove that electron from an element which is already having a stable electronic configuration. So that's why helium will be having highest ionization potential. And in helium, since because of its smallest atomic size, the nuclear pull will be maximum on that electrons. So among the noble gases, because of its smallest atomic size, it is very tough or very hard to remove that electron. So that's why it requires highest ionization potential. Okay, so these are the main important questions you have to remember, or the main important elements. Okay, so fluorine will be having highest electronegativity, chlorine will be having highest electron affinity, and helium will be having highest ionization potential. So if you see these three, if you can learn these three, at least one will be in your paper. Okay, so definitely minimum one. Sometimes you may give two also. It may come in multiple choice, or it may come under name the following, or it may come under match the following. So definitely one you will see in your question paper. Okay, let's move to the next question. So let's see next type of questions. So question will be based on a tabular form like this. Okay, so here it may be atomic number and here this will be element. Okay, let's say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12, and let us take this A B C D E F G H I J K L. So I have given a random letter to represent the elements of this particular atomic number. Let's see the first question. Which of them or which of these elements is an alkali metal? An alkali metal. So we know that what is this alkali metal? The alkali metal is nothing but the one which belongs to group 1. Okay, group 1A or group 1. How do we find which element belongs to group 1? So we all know that this group 1 represents, the group number represents the number of valence electrons. That means the element which belongs to this group 1, that is alkali metal, will be having one valence electron. So that's why let's write the electronic configurations of all these elements. So its atomic number is 1. So electronic configuration will be only 1. And this is 2. So electronic configuration will be 2. So this is 3. This will be 2, 1. This will be 2, 2. This is 2, 3. 2, 4. 2, 5. 2, 6. 2, 7. 2, 8. 2, 8, 1. And 2, 8, 2. So now in this, let's see how many elements have one valence electron. We can see this element has one valence electron. It has only one shell and only electron. So that will be one valence electron. And this one C also has one valence electron, and this K also has one valence electron. So but we know that this atomic number 1 is hydrogen. So hydrogen cannot be a metal. So we cannot write hydrogen as the answer. So we have C and this K. So we know that C is lithium and K 281. That is atomic number 3 is lithium and atomic number 11 is sodium. And those two are metals, and those two will belong to group 1A because they have one valence electron. So the answer can be either C or K. You can write either C or K. And let's see the second one. How many valence electrons are present in the element, let's say it is G. Now, so where is G here? So G is here, and you can see its electronic configuration is 2, 5. So the question is how many valence electrons are there in element G. So let's see how many valence electrons are there. Here 5 valence electrons are there. So it's very easy to answer this type of questions. Okay, you just need to learn the electronic configuration and the atomic numbers of the elements. Okay, so let's see another example, another question. Which of these elements has duplet configuration? Okay, so this duplet configuration is possessed by helium atom or helium element. Okay, so now we all know that helium's atomic number is 2. So now where is the helium? So atomic number 2. So this is helium. So in this case we are representing helium with this letter B. So remember, so these letters are not chemical symbols. They are just random letters to represent those elements. Okay, so in this case the helium with atomic number 2 is represented with the letter B. Here the thing is, you don't need to identify the element and name them unless if it is asked in the question. Okay, So whatever letter is given over there, so we are going to use that letter only. So you will get such type of questions based on this table. Okay, table like this. So next type of example or next type of question. Arrange the following elements in the increasing order of electronegativity. So now these elements are given. So before solving this type of questions, let's write the elements as per the groups and periods in the periodic table. So at least you have to learn group 1, that is hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. So at least up to rubidium you have to learn. And in the second group you will have beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium and barium. And group 17 you will have fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. And group 18 starts with helium, neon, argon, krypton and xenon. So at least these 4 groups you have to learn. And first 3 periods, 1, 2, 3 periods you have to learn. So in the first period you will have hydrogen and lithium only, and in the second period lithium, beryllium, then boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. And in the third period sodium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine and argon. And from the fourth period you can remember potassium and calcium. Okay, so now what is given here? So in this question you are asked to arrange the following elements in the increasing order of their electronegativities. Okay, so first you have to identify to which group they are belonging. So if you see here chlorine, bromine, fluorine, iodine, they all belong to group 17. So let's write these 4 elements as per the order in the group 17. So in group 17 first comes chlorine, first comes fluorine, then chlorine, after that bromine and it will be iodine. So now what is the periodic property asking here? So it is electronegativity, and we all know that down the group electronegativity will be decreasing. Okay, so electronegativity will be decreasing down the group, but in the question it is asking to write in the increasing order. So you have to reverse the order. So when you reverse the order it will be iodine, bromine, chlorine and fluorine. Now this will be increasing order of electronegativities of those elements. Let's see another question of similar type. Arrange the following elements in the decreasing order of their electron affinities. Okay, let's take this is like carbon, beryllium, nitrogen, boron and oxygen. So now in this case you have 5 elements. So first of all, see to which group or period they belong to. Carbon, beryllium, nitrogen, boron, oxygen. So they all belong to group 2. So here, so now you are going to arrange them in the same order. So here first comes, as per this period, First comes beryllium. So beryllium, then boron, then carbon. After that it is nitrogen, then it is oxygen. So you're going to arrange in the same order how they are arranged in the periodic table. So now across a periodic table, across the period from left to right, so what is the property here? Electron affinity. So from left to right, electron affinity will be increasing. We know that. Okay, so from left to right, electron affinity will be increasing. But in the question, he is asking to write in the decreasing order. So how do you write? Reverse the order. So then it becomes oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, boron, and beryllium. So now it will be, if you move from left to right, so this is the order of electron affinity decreases. Let's see another example of the same kind. Arrange the following elements. Arrange the following elements in the increasing order of metallic character. Okay, let's say it is rubidium, lithium, sodium, potassium. So now, first of all, you have to identify to which group they belong to or to which period they belong to. Okay, so we know that they all are metals and they belong to group 1. So you're going to put them in the same order. So as per this group, so first comes lithium. After lithium, it will be sodium, and after sodium, it is potassium, and finally, it is rubidium. And what is the property here? Metallic character. Okay, so they're in the group. Okay, so we write them from top to bottom. So first lithium, then sodium, potassium, rubidium. So the metallic character down the group, metallic character down the group, what happens? It increases. We know that the metallic character increases down the group. So this is the increasing order of metallic character when you move from top to bottom in the group. And in the question also, it is asking to write in the increasing order only. So the order remains same. Okay, so this will be the increasing order of the metallic character of these elements. Okay, let's see another example of same kind, same type of question. Arrange the following elements in the decreasing order of electron affinity. So let's take bromine, chlorine, iodine, and fluorine. So now these elements belong to group 17, nothing but they are halogens. Okay, so let them write in the same order. So out of these 4, as per this group, first comes fluorine, then it comes chlorine, after that it is bromine, chlorine, bromine, and then it is iodine. So now down the group, we know that. So what is the property here asking? Electron affinity. So down the group, what happens? The electron affinity will be decreasing. It will be decreasing. But there is a small change over here. So here just now I have told you. Okay. So chlorine will be having higher electron affinity compared to fluorine. Actually, chlorine is the element which is having highest electron affinity. So that's why the chlorine goes up and fluorine comes down. So you have to change their places. So first comes chlorine, then fluorine, after that followed by bromine and iodine. So this is the decreasing order of electron affinity of these elements, because you have to remember chlorine has highest electron affinity. So that's why we have to change the places of chlorine and fluorine in this case. Let's see next type of question. So let's see the next question. So in this type of questions, a tabular form will be given like this, and the elements will be represented with some random letters over there. And the questions will be like this. Write the electronic configuration of the element R. You no need to identify that element R, you just need to write its electronic configuration. So how do we write the electronic configuration of R? So look at the position of this R. R is present in the third period, means R will have 3 shells, K, L, M. It belongs to third period, so it will have 3 shells, and it belongs to group 2. What does it indicate? The element which is present in group 2 will definitely have 2 valence electrons, right? So 2 electrons will be in the M shell, that means K and L are completely filled with the electrons. So its electronic configuration will be 282. So like this we'll write this electronic configuration of R. What type of bonding is possible between the elements Q and Z? So here you have to see this Q belongs to group 1. It is nothing but alkali metal. It is a metal. And Z belongs to group 17. So the group 17 elements are nothing but halogens, and they are nothing but non-metals. And the bonding between metal and non-metal, Q is a metal and Z is a non-metal. So here the metal and non-metal will form an ionic bond. In this case, the bonding between Q and Z will be ionic bonding, right? Let's see the third one. Identify the element which does not form compounds. So in this case you have these elements, and generally the element which has stable electronic configuration, that will not form compounds. So out of these elements, which will be having stable electronic configuration? So obviously it will be a noble gas which is having stable electronic configuration, and the noble gas will belong to group 18, and we have only one noble gas, that is X. So you will write just X over there. He is not asking to write the name of the element, you just need to identify the element from this table. So here it is X, so we will write just X as the answer. Let's see the next example. Next question. Which of the elements present in period 3 is most electronegative in nature? Okay, so out of the elements present in group 3, so from this table, the elements which belong to group 3, you have only 2 elements, R and Z. Between R and Z, which will be having higher electronegativity? So we know that electronegativity increases across a period. So from left to right, electronegativity increases. So when it increases, definitely the electronegativity of Z will be more than that of R. Okay, the answer will be Z. Next question. Write the formula of the compound between the elements M and Y. You have to write the formula of the compound between M and Y. So here you can see M belongs to group 1. So it group, the elements which are present in group 1, they will be having one valence electron. Okay, so I'm writing number of valence electrons. So group number 1 will be one valence electron, 2 valence electrons, 13 it is nothing but third A, so 3 valence electrons, so it goes like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 valence electrons. So from this you can write the valency. Okay, so here whenever an element has one valence electron, the valency will be 1 plus, and 2 valence electrons, the valency will be 2 plus, except helium, and 3 valence electrons, valency will be 3 plus, and for 4 valence electrons it will be 4 plus or 4 minus. But generally the elements which belong to group 4 like carbon and silicon, they form covalent bonds. And if it is 5 valence electrons, valency will be 3 minus, 2 valence electrons, valency will be 3 minus, 7 valence electrons, 1 minus, and this is 0 because that is a noble gas. Okay, it is a group where noble gases are located, so the valency will be 0 here. So now the valency of M which belongs to group 1, so its valency will be 1 plus, and Y belongs to group 16 means its valency is 2 minus, so Y will have valency 2 minus. So from this M valency is 1 plus and the valency of Y is 2 minus. So to write the formula, what do we do? Since the valencies are different, you will interchange their valencies. So 2 comes here, so M2, and 1 goes there, it is M2Y. So this is how we can find the valency based on the group number, and you can write the formula of any two elements given like this. Next one. What type of bonding is present between A and L? Okay, so if you see A over here, so A belongs to group 1 and the A is nothing but hydrogen, which is a non-metal. Hydrogen is a non-metal, and L belongs to group 17, nothing but it is also a non-metal. Okay, of course it is a halogen. Halogen is nothing but a non-metal. So the bonding between a non-metal and non-metal will always be a covalent bonding. Okay, so the bonding between non-metal and non-metal will always be a covalent bond. Okay, so this type of questions you will see in board paper from this periodic table. Okay, so you also practice these questions. Okay, all the best.